This video is based on a chapter from the book Maza Madhumeh Maase Niyantran. For more details, visit www.schoolfordiabetes.a.
Hey everyone, and welcome. You know, living with diabetes, it's so much more than just checking your sugar, right? It gets into everything. Your stress levels, your finances, even your relationships. So in this explainer, we're going to get real about these challenges, the ones people don't always talk about. And more importantly, we're going to give you some actual practical tools to help you feel like you're back in the driver's seat. All right, so here's our game plan. First, we'll connect the dots between stress and your blood sugar. Then we'll get into managing the costs, because that's a big one. We'll also talk about your social life and wrap up with a really cool new idea for getting support. All right, let's jump right in. We're starting with the mind-body connection. I know, it can sound a little out there, but trust me, what's going on in your head has a direct physical impact on your blood sugar. Let's break down exactly how that works. Okay, so it all boils down to this thing called the fight or flight response. Think of it like your body's built-in alarm system. When your brain even thinks there's a threat, and it doesn't matter if it's a real danger or just, a stressful email, that alarm goes off. Your body gets flooded with chemicals to get you ready to either fight the problem or run away from it. And this is the really wild part, how a simple worry becomes a physical thing. It's like a domino effect. First, you perceive a threat. Domino 1. Your brain releases stress chemicals. Domino 2. That triggers hormones like adrenaline. Domino 3. And what's the last domino to fall? Your heart starts pounding, your blood pressure goes up, and this is the big one for us, your blood sugar shoots up. It's a straight line from a thought to a number on your glucose meter. So, the big question is, how much stress is too much stress? I mean, a little bit is just life, right? But at what point does it cross the line and become a real danger to your health? Well, you might be surprised to hear this, but scientists have actually found a way to put a number on it. This is called the Holmes-Ray stress scale. Basically, a couple of psychiatrists figured out how to assign stress points to major life events. And you can see the really big stuff, like losing a spouse, is a full 100 points. Things like divorce or a marital separation, they're right up there too. They carry a huge weight. Okay, so here's the magic number you need to pay attention to. 300. If you add up all your stress points over a year and the total goes about 300, that's the danger zone. We're not just talking about feeling stressed out anymore. The science says your risk of getting seriously ill shoots way, way up. It's like a flashing red light from your body saying, I'm under too much pressure. All right, so that's the problem, but let's talk solutions because there's so much you can actually do. Think of this as your stress-busting toolkit, and we're not talking about huge, life-altering changes. It's the small, daily stuff that really adds up. Eating well, moving your body for just 30 minutes, even just stopping you take a few deep breaths. It's also about what goes on in your head, setting small, winnable goals, being kinder to yourself with your thoughts, and seriously, finding something to laugh about. These things aren't fluff, they're powerful medicine. This isn't a new problem. This quote from the Bhagavad Gita just hits the nail on the head. Thousands of years ago, Arjuna was basically saying the same thing to Krishna. My mind is all over the place. It's impossible to control. And the advice he got back then is the exact same advice that works today. It's not about winning a single battle, it's about practice. Through that consistent effort, we can get a handle on our minds. And when we do that, we get a handle on our health. Okay, so speaking of things that cause a ton of stress, let's talk about money. The financial side of managing diabetes can be, it can be overwhelming. It's a huge source of anxiety for so many people. But the good news is, just like with mental stress, there are absolutely clear, practical things you can do to feel more in control. When you think about all the costs, it can feel like a mountain. So let's not look at the whole mountain at once. Let's break it into 4 smaller hills: your diet, lab tests, medicines, and of course, visits to the doctor or hospital. If we look at them one at a time, it's way less intimidating. Okay, let's get one thing straight and bust a massive myth. You do not need to buy all those expensive diabetic-friendly foods you see in the store. A healthy diet for someone with diabetes is just a healthy diet for everyone. We're talking about simple, affordable things like grains, veggies, and fruits. And hey, bonus, when the whole family eats this way, you're not just managing your health, you're helping them prevent it too. Now this is a potential game changer for your wallet. Branded drugs versus generic drugs. Here's the secret. They have the exact same active ingredient. They do the exact same job in your body. The only difference? a massive one in the price. Seriously, just asking your doctor if you can switch to a generic version could literally save you thousands of rupees every single month. It's a conversation worth having. So why do we talk so much about day-to-day management? Because it's all about avoiding the one thing that will blow up your budget more than anything else, a hospital stay. Just look at the top reasons people with diabetes end up in the hospital. Heart attack, kidney failure, these are the serious complications. And they aren't just terrifying for your health, they are financially devastating. Honestly, the best financial plan you can have is just good, consistent prevention. And this is where you have to become your own biggest champion. You gotta advocate for yourself. Don't be shy. Ask the lab if they can give you a better rate. Ask the hospital about insurance, charity options, general wards. Ask about everything. And before you even walk into your doctor's office, have your questions written down. Make that appointment count. These little things might feel small, but believe me, they add up to real savings. All right, let's shift gears and talk about something really personal. After a diagnosis, a lot of unspoken fears can pop up, right? Fears about dating, marriage, about having a family. It's the kind of stuff we don't always say out loud, but it's so important to address. So first things first, let's be absolutely crystal clear. Diabetes is what's called a non-communicable disease. All that means is that it's caused by things like your genetics and your lifestyle. It is not contagious. It's not like a cold or the flu. You cannot, I repeat, cannot catch it from someone, period. And that leads to the question that's probably on a lot of your minds. Does this diagnosis mess up my future? Can I still get married? Can I have kids? Does this change everything? Let me give you the straight-up scientific answer. It's a big, loud, definite no. With good management, there is absolutely zero reason why you can't have a wonderful marriage and healthy kids. The diagnosis itself is not a roadblock. What really matters is your lifestyle and how you choose to manage it. Okay, so we've talked a lot about what you can do on your own, but here's a key thing to remember. You don't have to go through this alone. In fact, there's a really powerful new way of thinking about this that's all about community, education, and support. It's this idea of a diabetes school. The concept is pretty simple, but so effective. Let's tackle this thing together. The main goals are to catch it early, make sure people get the right treatment, show them how to prevent the scary complications, and, this is huge, get their families involved in prevention too. It basically creates this amazing built-in support network for everyone. Okay, so as we wrap up, let's boil it all down. What do you really need to remember from all this? Number 1, stress isn't just in your head. It's in your blood sugar. Manage it actively. Number 2, you can absolutely get a handle on the costs. Be smart, ask questions, and be your own advocate. Number 3, diabetes does not get a vote on your social life or your family plans. That's your call. And finally, and this is the most important one, knowledge is power. Learning how to manage this for yourself, that's your superpower. We've gone over a ton of information, but it doesn't mean anything until you put it into action. So I want to leave you with one final thought, one question to ask yourself. You've got the tools now, so what's the first small thing, the first tiny step you're going to take today to start taking back control?